Okay, so if we're going over the bell work, we wanted to find the shaded region, the area of the shaded region. For the first one, what two shapes did you split these into?
Square and triangle.
So our first shape is the triangle. When you find the area of a triangle, our formula is 1/2 base times height, or base times height divided by 2. What would be our base for this example?
15.
15, and the height is 4, and then we have to divide that by 2. 15 times 4 is 60, and 60 divided by 2 is 30. When we find the area of the rectangle at the bottom, we're using base times height. Our base is also 15, and the height is 12. 15 times 12 is 180. And our last step would be to do what with these two values? Add them. 180 plus 30 gives us 210. Our units are feet squared. For the second one, we have 4 little triangles cut out. If you found the area of the entire rectangle, what do you notice about the dimensions? 12 and 15, it's exactly what we found over here. So we already know that our area for the rectangle is 180. If we found an area for the triangles, what is our base of the triangle? If you look at this triangle, 1, and the height is 1. What is 1/2 times 1 times 1? 1/2. It leaves us with 1/2, or 0.5. And how many of those little triangles do we have? 4. So if you multiply 4 times 0.5, what do we get? 2. We take our entire area, which is 180, and subtract 2, and what do we get? 178, and our units are inches squared. Okay, the heading for today's notes is surface area of pyramids. Our target is students will be able to identify square pyramids and triangular pyramids and find the surface area of pyramids. There are 2 different types of pyramids that we're going to see come up most often, and that is we have square pyramids and triangular pyramids. And just like prisms yesterday, pyramids are identified by the shape of their base. So the top of the shape, the points come together at a point called the vertex. Whatever shape is opposite the vertex or your base, that tells you what type of pyramid you have. So this right here, we have a square as our base, so it'd be a square pyramid. This dotted line right here tells you the height of the slant. So this slant go into the vertex, and that's called the slant height.
That circle that looks like the breast cancer awareness.
It's a cursive L. It's a slant height. And we have our lateral face. So for pyramids, you can use this formula right here. Surface area equals 1/2 P times L plus capital B, or big B. So that's 1/2 times the perimeter. This cursive L is your slant height, and then you're adding in capital B, or big B, which is the area of the base. So make sure you get your formula written down. Surface area equals 1/2 times the perimeter times the slant height plus the area of the base. Okay, so if we look at this first example, we have our vertex right here, the point where all our sides come together. And what shape is our base? Square. So what type of pyramid do we have? Square pyramid. Our surface area formula for pyramids are 1/2 times the perimeter times the slant height plus the area of the base. I'm going to find each one of these parts first before plugging them in. So for my perimeter, I'm finding the perimeter of the base. So I look at this and we have a value of, or length of 6.4. Over here is also 6.4. What would this be? 6.4, and this one would be 6.4. Since we have a square, we know that all four sides are the same. So you could do 4 times 6.4, which gives us what for our perimeter? 25.6. Our slant height, what is the height of the slant for this one? 6.1. And for our area of the base, since we have a square, we are going to be doing base times height. We have a base of 6.4 and a height of 6.4. So we're going to multiply those two numbers. And when you multiply 6.4 times 6.4, what do you get? 40.96, and that's what we're going to plug into our formula. So I'm going to bring down my 1/2. My value for P is 25.6, and my slant height is 6.1. I have to add in my area of the base, which I know is 40.96. So we have to multiply these three values. 1/2 times 25.6 times 6.1. When you're working with fractions, you can multiply in your numerator. So we can multiply 25.6 times 6.1 and divide by 2, or 1/2 is what as a decimal? 0.5. So you can multiply 0.5 times 25.6 times 6.1, and what do you get? And then I'm going to bring down my plus 40.96, and our last step would be to add these two values together. And what do we get for our surface area? 119.04. What's our units? Centimeters, and since it's area, it's squared. Okay, if you look at our next shape, here's our vertex. Opposite of the vertex is our base. And what shape do we have for our base? Triangle, so we have a triangular pyramid. Still using the same formula. 1/2 times perimeter times slant height plus area of the base. And I'm going to find each one of these parts first before plugging them in. So for perimeter of the base, since we have our triangle, how many numbers would we add together?
3.
3, because there's 3 sides. When I trace this one, what's the length that we have here? 9. This length over here is 9, and my last one is also 9. So when I add 9 plus 9 plus 9, what do I get? 27. So I have a perimeter of 27. My slant height, I'm going to look at my vertex. What height connects my base and the vertex? Yep, 7.8 would be my slant height. And now I'm focusing on my base again to find the area of the base. Since we have a triangle, we're going to do base times height and divide by 2. Here's my base of the triangle, and what value do we have? 9. What's my height of the triangle? 7.8. So I'm going to multiply those two values and then divide by 2. 9 times 7.8 gives us 70.2, and when I divide by 2, I get 35.1. Okay, so now we know our perimeter, slant height, and area of the base. We can plug that back into our surface area formula. I'm going to bring down my 1/2, and we're plugging in what value for P? 27, and what value for L, or slant height? 7.8, and then I'm adding my big B, or my area of the base, which is 35.1. Our next step, we have to multiply these three values. So 0.5 times 27 times 7.8 gives us 1. And I have to bring down my 35.1. And our last step is to add these two values together. 105.3 plus 35.1, and we get 140.4, and our units are millimeters squared because we have area. Okay, I want you to go ahead and try the next two examples on your own. For number 3, it might be helpful for you to draw a picture, and number 4 is just like number 2.